Well, what you're seeing is a reflection of 60 years of history, 59 as we do this. And of course, we're in Riverview Collegiate in the gym. Joe Jewis isn't here to kick us out because we have our shoes on, but I have Terry Wallace, the secretary of the Riverview Alumni Association, and we're going to talk about the upcoming 60th anniversary for this school. So Terry, welcome.
Thank you for having me today, Lyle.
Yeah. Tell me about your sweater.
I stole that. Actually, I bought it off the school. They're selling some of these products to get rid of them as we no longer have a football team, but we thought it might look appropriate for today and wear to the reunion.
Yeah, it's great, and of course the blue and white is around here, the Riverview Royals and the Bulldogs and all that kind of history in this room. I know I spent, at least one day a week in this, in here with John Livingston and Shirley Smith, and one of my favorite memories is the gym suits the girls had to wear.
Well, they were quite interesting to look at, and the boys, of course, were quite willing to look.
They were just like I don't know what, it was like a one-piece outfit that had a belt around it and bloomer kind of things that was just like unattractive as anything.
At least we could wear some cutoffs at that time and some T-shirts.
And we had Riverview, and we had powder blue.
Yes, we did, yes.
Yeah. Powder blue Riverview shirts. Anyway, there's so many memories in this place. Then, of course, the Riverview Reunion Committee has had 3 reunions now, or 2. They had a 25th and a 50th.
40th and 50th.
Oh, 40th, yeah. And the last 2 I couldn't make, and I was working with the Cadet World in BC, and they said, no, you can't go. I went, ah. But I did make the 25th, and it was a really good thing to see people. Yeah.
That's essentially when the Riverview Alumni Association started, because we ended up with a bunch of cash and needed some continuity between the reunions and dealing with the school in terms of this money, scholarships and so on. And so it was initially started back then, and a few years ago it was incorporated. So we're now a corporation. We sort of look after the money. We're non-profit, but we're not charitable.
Yeah. So Terry, when is the 60th reunion taking place?
It will be taking place on August 9th, 10th, and 11th in 2019. That's 2019. Not this summer, folks. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's a year away still.
It takes time to organize it.
It takes a while to get the venues in place, which is very important because we're not a very large center here, and get bands in place and caterers and everything else, and that's what we're looking at right now.
Man, bands and caterers. I remember coming here for dances. Yeah. Without shoes.
Yes, and of course the lights had to be up. At that time, they could not be down.
Yeah, it was, but they had them like every 2 months. There was a dance, and it was well attended by everybody. It was a good social activity.
Most of the school came.
Yeah, yeah. Now, back when you graduated in 61.
1961.
Yeah, and I graduated in 66, so we're old school.
Well, older.
Yeah. But there have been many things that have gone through the school. I was thinking of names of people like Pattersons and Checkerlawn and Konahowskis, yeah.
Yes.
And just families and a lot of people who've gone through here that have made such an impact, not just in our community, but around the world.
Yes, and of course a lot of people came through us here, teachers too, Gary Heine, for example, and hopefully at the reunion, Heather Hodgson may be putting together some kind of a display of local writers for the people to look at when they come back.
Yeah. And of course, I got to meet Heather when I was a teacher. She was one of my first classes that I got paid to teach out at Bushel Park School when her dad was in the Air Force. So I've known her for a long time, and she's a wonderful creative spirit.
I've actually never met Heather. I've only met her by email. So.
Well, she's a Vanier grad and very proud of that, but she also maintains her connections to a lot of her friends came through here.
She did come here 1 year, grade 10.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Terry, what are some of the things that you want people to be able to do right now?
Well, first of all, we'd like them to, if they have any interest in coming with us, look at our website, Riverview Alumni Association. Everything is on there, all the information that you need. We need you, if you're interested in coming to the reunion, to be on our database so we can contact you by email. And that is also available just by looking at the front page of the website. There's a place to subscribe to our database. The website will be updated every week from this point on. We decided to do that starting this January. So you can always find the most up-to-date information on there just by looking in and clicking on the button that says A Summer to Remember, and it will show you what we're doing. It will have all the minutes of our meetings, everything else, our deadlines that are coming up, people we need, and so on. Will all be on there.
And of course, just standing in here, you have all these memories of things and activities that you did. Like I remember the football games, like when we had a team, we went to the Southern Provincial Championships in Regina, and Gord Curry and his Balfour Redmond did not treat our team well.
That's happened to us, and also in basketball, it wasn't very pretty at some times when we were playing basketball.
But there were some great players went through, the Galons, I think.
A whole bunch of people came through here, very, very good athletes and so on. I'm proud to be a member of this school. So.
Yeah. And for sure. Now, what are you, even though you've been involved with these reunions for many years, what are you looking forward to just personally yourself in the next reunion?
Party.
Terry!
Well, you never know. These days, 60th, we don't know if you're going to get back for another reunion. And what our committee is trying to do this time is arrange it so the committee members don't have to do a lot of work at the event itself. Yeah. So we can have people spending more time on social activities, meeting with each other.
Who are some of the people involved with the committee right now? I know Bob Semenuk is.
Okay, Bob Semenuk is. Sheila Timorowski is, formerly Sheila Cornell. She's involved. She's on one, and myself, we're on what we call the steering committee from the board of directors, sort of overseeing what's taking place. We already have 2 co-chairs that have agreed to be available for us. Mary Lee Booth is one co-chair, Mary Lee Wong, and Debbie Mason. Debbie Goriuk is the other. They've agreed to co-chair, and I'll be the IT person looking after the IT support.
Wow, and there's a meeting in the recent time, and I don't think the show is going to be on before it happens, but they're going to be, are they monthly meetings you're going to start in?
Not likely monthly to start with. Our biggest input for some of the committees will be starting in the fall, because we're going to look for sponsors in the community for registration packages and so on. And of course, they set their budgets in the fall, so we need somebody looking after that. But the real work will start about a year from now. Okay.
Yeah, and still, that's a lot. This has to be in place for them to get to do their jobs and stuff.
Yes, I'm looking forward to people, and it sounds like a lot of people are very interested in helping. So hopefully, we'll get some people together, and if we have 20 to 30 people working. Yeah, everything's easy.
Because back in the day when Riverview was first built, it was a big school. It had a lot of. I remember, I think my grade class, which graduated in '66, had the most students in it, and I think it was 125 students.
Yeah, at one time there were about 600 students here. Wow. At one time.
Oh. We're getting even announcements added in. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, you can hear them now.
So, yeah, and I was involved with some things here. I played volleyball. We had a chess club and a camera club, because the camera club did all the pictures for the yearbook and stuff like that. But what about you? You did sports.
In sports at that time, I also helped with the yearbook and the camera club a little bit, not very much. But when I was here, if you were a male in grade 11 or 12, you played volleyball, you played basketball, you played football, because you had to have had bodies out there, and that's what we were doing at that time.
And some of the people, like the coaches, I talked about Shirley Smith, who was one of the original phys ed teachers here, and John Livingston, of course, for many years involved here. But I think of Janet Bondroff and of Bruce Fair. These are from the olden days. Yeah. Stanton, the Thiessen brothers.
Stanton, the Thiessen brothers were here. No, just one Thiessen. Norm Thiessen was here. Roy was at Central. Yeah. And Norm, I liked Norm as a teacher. We had a good time together. Oh, it was an interesting time, especially when we started here in grade 11. I started here. That was the first year the school opened. So it was nice coming to a new school. Yeah.
And even today, I've got Ingram and Kelly Grass, who are legends in the school. Right. They do so many active things with students and new projects and stuff.
Yeah. And Randy Verge spent years here and stuff. Larry Siegel did as well.
Lindy Zeffley.
Lindy Zeffley. Yeah. A lot of people have gone through.
Yeah. So it's a wonderful thing. Now, we've got some stuff to talk about here. We got you've got some sponsors, Terry, and I want to make sure right now we already have these sponsors, and you can list them off. Say these are guys who are people who are already committed to involvement, but
Yeah, these people are helping us support the website. We have Anna Mather from Select People Solutions. We have George Patterson from Westray Consulting. Myself with Kiwasi Consulting. Carol Wallace, my wife, the Ogan Moose Jaw. Justin Hoyes with the All in All Construction. Don Mitchell, City Councillor. And Dale Hogg from Nature's Inn in Ontario. So thank you very much to these people.
Yeah, and of course, if you're interested in becoming a sponsor, there we go. It's on the website, and contact them. We got less than 2 minutes to go, Terry. So you want people to get registered. I think that's the first thing you want to get, or at least get interested.
Make sure you're on the database. If you're not sure, just go to the website and subscribe to our database. Okay. Secondly, some people are saying they aren't getting email. Because of our privacy and security policies that we have in place, I can't send out emails by name where people are visible. So you're getting an undisclosed recipient, which becomes a distribution list. And a lot of your email filters will filter that out and put them in junk or spam. So if you think you should be getting email, check your junk or spam mail. Yeah. Then reset your filter so those things can get through.
Exactly. So Terry,
that information is on the website.
Dates again?
August 9th, 10th, 11th, 2019.
And right here at Riverview and in the community?
It'll be all around the city.
Okay, great. Well, thanks and congratulations. I hope you have a very successful time. I know you will.
Thanks, Lyle.
Okay, so when we come back, we're going to be talking about other interesting things going on in our community, so don't go away.